内が命。久しぶりだな、サスケ。
I wandered the streets alone, as I did every day. My life was pretty miserable. I was homeless and didn't have a penny to my name. The only clothes I owned were the ones I was wearing. I really couldn't imagine how things could get any worse. Then a car came around the corner and drove straight through a huge puddle on the side of the road. Water sprayed up and soaked me from head to toe. I stood there dripping wet, watching as the driver drove off, laughing. Well, if you think that is bad, wait until you find out what happens to me at the end of the story. I carried on walking. I had no choice. I had to get back to where I was going to sleep for the night. When I got there, I curled up under a piece of cardboard and tried to go to sleep, but it was impossible. My stomach was rumbling because I hadn't eaten all day, and I was shivering because of the wet clothes. I had never felt so sad in all of my life. That's when I decided I was going to do whatever it took to turn my life around. I didn't want to live on the streets a moment longer. The first thing I need to do is get a job. Once I have a job, then I'll be able to get a place to stay. I knew it wouldn't be easy to get a job, but I was determined. So when I heard that a local company was hiring people, I decided I would apply. I was so happy when I found out that I had got an interview, but then I realized I didn't have anything to wear. My heart sank. There was no way that they would give me a job if I turned up in my old scruffy clothes. One of the other girls that lived on the street saw that I was looking sad and came over to me.
What's up, Julie?
I've got an interview for a job.
What? That's fantastic news. So why are you looking so unhappy?
Because I don't have anything to wear. They'll never give me the job if I turn up looking like this.
Don't you worry about that. I have a clean suit that I keep for special occasions. You can borrow it.
Are you serious?
Of course.
Thank you. Oh my God, you are a lifesaver. I was so nervous when I went for the interview. I was sweating and could hardly get my words out. So you can imagine how surprised I was when they told me I had got the job. Really? Are you serious?
Yes, we would like you to start on Monday. Is that okay?
Yes, definitely. See you on Monday. That was the day my life changed forever. I loved my new job and I worked really hard. It wasn't long before I had my first promotion. I worked my way up the ladder until eventually, after 5 years working there, they offered me the position of manager. I never forgot my time living on the streets, though. I was determined to never be in that situation again. Of course, with becoming a manager, I got a big pay raise too. I remember picking up my first paycheck as a manager. I couldn't believe how many zeros there were. I've got all this money now. I think I deserve something nice. I'm going to treat myself to dinner in a fancy restaurant. I put on my best clothes and went to the restaurant in town. I spent ages reading through the menu, wondering what I should order. That's when I saw it. Melt-in-your-mouth steak covered in gold flakes. Wow, gold flakes! I have to try that. When the waiter brought my meal, I couldn't believe it. There were actually real gold flakes on top of the steak. I took a bite and savored the flavor. Oh my God, that is seriously the most delicious thing I've ever tasted. After that, I ordered gold flakes on every meal I ate. I couldn't get enough of the stuff. I ate it every single day on anything and everything. Some days I didn't even eat anything with the gold flakes. I just ate the gold. But soon I wasn't satisfied with just eating gold when I went out to a restaurant. I wanted it at home too. I found out about this luxury supermarket that sold only the most expensive foods. I felt sure that they would have gold flakes. Straight after work, I went there. Excuse me, do you sell gold flakes?
Yes, madam, we do. How much would you like?
I'll take all that you have, please.
Yes, of course. Thank you, madam.
As soon as I got home, I opened the gold flakes and began munching on them. I couldn't get enough of them. The following morning, I sprinkled them on the top of my breakfast. They tasted so good. Soon I was eating nothing but gold flakes. Of course I had to eat normal food sometimes. My body couldn't survive on gold flakes alone. But I never went a day without eating gold. To say it was an expensive addiction is an understatement. So you're probably thinking by now how lucky I was. I had completely turned my life around. I had a good job and lots of money, but I was still missing one thing. I didn't have anyone to share my life with. I really wanted to meet someone, but as I spent all my time working, I didn't really have a social life. I had basically given up on the idea of ever meeting someone when something happened to change all that. It was one of those random things that happened for no reason. You see, I always ate my lunch in my office because that way I could work whilst I ate. But one day I arrived at work, and when I got out of my car, it started raining really heavily. I ran to the office, and on the way, I slipped and my lunchbox fell out of my hand and the contents scattered all over the floor. No! Now I'll have to go to the cafeteria for lunch. I was so annoyed with myself. I hated wasting time when I could be working. So anyway, I went down to the cafeteria, and that's when I saw him. He was standing in the queue just in front of me. As I picked up a tray, he turned around and gave me a smile.
Hi, it's Julie, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I'm Darren. I work in accounts.
Oh, hi. Pleased to meet you.
Why don't you come and join me for lunch?
Oh, thank you. Yes, I will. I took my tray of food and went and sat at the table with Darren. We chatted, and he was so interesting to talk to and funny too. I couldn't believe it when I looked at my watch and realized I had spent an hour over lunch. I'm sorry. I have to go. I have so much work to do.
Okay, maybe we can get lunch together again tomorrow?
I was about to tell him that I didn't usually eat lunch in the cafeteria when something stopped me. Yes, that would be nice. So after that, I stopped taking my lunch from home. I spent every day having lunch with Darren and getting to know him. It wasn't long before I had fallen in love with him. But I wasn't sure if he felt the same way about me. Maybe he just wanted to be friends. But then, one day, we had finished our lunch, and I was about to go back to my office when he turned to me.
I was thinking, actually, I was wondering, how about we grab some dinner this evening?
Yes, that would be nice. Where do you want to go?
We could go to that fancy restaurant in town if you like.
Okay, I'll meet you there at 7 o'clock. I was so happy that he suggested we go there because I knew that I would be able to get my gold flakes there. I arrived at 7 o'clock and Darren was already there.
Julie, over here. I thought we could have a drink before we ordered food.
I sat down at the bar next to Darren. The waitress brought over the menu and I started looking through. Where is it? I can't see it. I scanned the menu, searching up and down each page, but it was nowhere to be seen. I called the waiter over. Excuse me, where's the steak dish with the gold flakes on?
Oh, I'm sorry. We took it off the menu because no one ever ordered it. Probably because it was too expensive.
Panic started building up inside of me until I felt like I was going to explode. What am I going to do? I didn't bring any gold flakes from my stock at home and I haven't had any all day. I started to hyperventilate. I could tell that Darren was beginning to get concerned about me.
What's wrong, Julie?
I couldn't answer him. My throat was all choked up and the words wouldn't come out. I just stood up and ran out of the restaurant. I just ran and ran. I didn't even think to call a cab or get a train home. All I had on my mind was to run home as fast as I could so that I could get to my gold flakes. My hand was shaking so much that I could hardly get my key into the keyhole. Finally, I managed to turn the lock and push the door open. I ran into the kitchen and grabbed my box of gold flakes. I began munching on them. I didn't stop until they were all gone. When I finally swallowed the last one, a sudden feeling of nausea swept through my body. The next thing I knew, everything turned black, and I passed out. When I woke up, I didn't know where I was. I could hear sounds of machines beeping and people talking. I opened my eyes and looked around me. I'm in a hospital. How did I get here? Then I noticed Darren sitting on a chair on the other side of the room. When he realized that I was awake, he came over and stood beside my bed. How did I get here? What happened?
When you ran out of the restaurant without a word, I was worried about you. I decided to follow you home to make sure you were all right. When I got to your apartment, the door was wide open, and when I went inside, I found you passed out on your kitchen floor.
I felt so embarrassed that he had seen me like that. I didn't know what to say to him. I was just about to try to think up some excuse when the doctor came in.
I'm pleased to see you awake. You are a very lucky young woman. If this man hadn't brought you in here, I don't know what would have happened.
Don't say that. You're scaring me.
Well, you should be scared. What you have been doing to yourself is very dangerous. Your immune system is failing. You have to stop eating gold and start eating healthily, or you will kill yourself.
I was so shocked when I heard what the doctor said. I knew that I had probably been overdoing it a bit with the gold flakes, but I had no idea that I was harming myself. I'm not sure that I can stop. I really am addicted to gold.
Don't worry, Julie. I will help you. Together, we will get you through this.
I smiled at Darren gratefully. Thank you, you're such a good person, but I'm not sure I'm strong enough.
We will give you a plan to help wean yourself off the gold. If you take it slowly and eat plenty of fruit and vegetables, you will be able to do it.
So that's what I did. Every day I would eat less and less gold flakes. I started out by just reducing the amount I had every meal. Then I started eating 1 meal a day with no gold flakes at all. Finally, after about a month, I went a whole day without eating any gold flakes at all. I did it!
Oh, Julie, I'm so proud of you. I love you so much.
I couldn't have done it without you by my side. You are my rock.
I'm going to be by your side for the rest of your life if you want me.
I do want you. Darren suddenly looked at me very seriously. Then the next thing he did was put his hand into his pocket and take out a box.
I've been waiting for the right time to give you this.
Then he opened the box and got down on one knee.
Julie, will you marry me?
I gasped. Inside the box was the biggest diamond ring I had ever seen. Yes, I will marry you. I never ate any gold flakes ever again. Darren and I got married and we settled down to a normal life without any addictions. I realized that I had probably been so obsessed with eating gold because of my fear of going back to being homeless. Once Darren came into my life, I finally felt safe. I knew that with him by my side, everything would be all right. Everything would be all right.